Hi guys, Lee here from UK Uncovered. Bit of a purity editing today. Photoshop CC, fantastic program. Today we are going to edit this little beauty here. I'm shooting using a Canon 7D, not a Mark II. This is basically been shot on 5.6, 1/1000, ISO of 100 on a 18-55 stock lens by Canon, image stabilizers on as well. As you can see, the image itself is pretty good. If you can see it from the video, which you probably can't very well, you should be able to see that a lot better. Move it out slightly so you can see it a bit more. Yeah, probably about the best I'm going to get it, to be fair. Anyway, first thing you do, you should check for your blemishes, etc. See what you can do. With RAW, you get all these options for your white balance. I shoot with auto white balance on my camera, but not everybody believes in it. If you don't like it, what their presets are, you can come up to here, which is your white balance pickers, right here, and your colour samplers. First thing I do, click Camera tool, you come down here and you adjust these values up a little bit. As you can see, this one's already been adjusted because I've already done it. I'll just nudge it back a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Right, first thing we will do is adjust these values. So I'm going to go to 18 for contrast. I'm going to raise this up a little bit to brighten it. Put my highlights down a little bit to bring the clouds in and the sky a bit more. Shadows I've put up to +5 to take the shadowing away a little bit, and the clarity is up to 7. Second thing we would do is come into here, profile, enable profile, come down here to lens correction where you find your lens. Obviously if you've got aftermarket like Samyang or something like that, it's not going to be in here, so you can't do a profiling for it. Luckily for me it's a Canon. As you can see, I just took all the barrel distortion and everything else away. Come into colour, remove chromatic aberration. If you zoom in to 100% or more, you pick a point of interest, i.e. that window there for instance, and you click remove chromatic aberration. As you can see, the colours are brought in a little bit, they're not so hazy, etc. Purple amount, you can adjust this to wherever you want. Again, that's brought it in a little bit more, and again, and only go halfway. Just by looking at that you can see what that's done. Brought it in a bit more. FX, awesome little tool. As you can see, I've moved this one up to 8. Post crop, no need to. And you come into, most important, the sharpening. Now you can see my settings for my sharpening there. Unfortunately my Canon 7D favours a lot of noise and grain, so it needs a heck of a lot of noise reduction to bring it down. Less is more with your sharpening here. Details at 57, radius at 2.2, amount of sharpening at 40. I'll just adjust this and you'll see what happens if I just over adjust it. You'll see what will happen now. You can see like a plasticky, it's bringing it all in nicely, but it's making it a bit cartoony and plasticky. That's at 150. Take the sharpening away, and you've got a haze. If I adjust it to 13, I'll bring it slowly up just before it grains. Which by my eyes is about there. You haven't got a plasticky look to it now. Still a little bit plasticky, so you bring it back a little bit more. Once you've done that, radius is basically the width of the sharpening. You can either go small, medium or large. Mine's set at 2.2. Again, I'll show you what this does. Bring the radius off. You've got a hazy effect. It's brought them windows in. It's not plasticky looking anymore. It looks okay, but it's lost a lot of detail. It's quite smooth. Bring the radius up to 38. And again, that looks quite nice at 1.1. Bring it halfway to dead on 2%. And again, you can see it there. Slightly plasticky looking. Or you can go right up, which brings it right in. You lose that plastic, and it's brought the grain out of the windows, and it's brought the cement and everything else out. I normally keep this level with the detail. Masking, self-explanatory, masks it. I try not to use this too much. Normally I have it to about the same as the sharpening amount, which is 38 or 36. Obviously the values are different, but you can now see it's moved out and smoothed it out. If I come here, just drag them lines in even further and mask them. If I go full on with it, it's all smooth. Bring it right back, and you're back to stage 1. So we shall bring it to there. Okay, that's the masking anyway. Again, all of these are the same. Smoothness is just basically your colour smoothness. If you go over here, it comes out nice and smooth. Not always the best thing. Kill it. You've got grain, it's not so smooth, it's a bit hardcore, and it looks okay, depending on what you want your image to look like. Again, smoother. Sometimes some images it suits, some it doesn't. So I don't use it, not very often. Anyway, luminance is always at 50 depending on how good your noise reduction is on your camera. Detail, I put the 71, 75 at the very most. And that brings in, keeps a lot of the detail within the features. Contrast. Don't get colour and contrast confused with noise reduction. Noise reduction is for grain and noise caused by a sensor. The higher your ISO, the more grain and noise you will generate. Same as your megapixels, the more noise you'll get, the higher the megapixel. This will adjust your megapixels, etc. This just basically kills the noise red effect in the colour and contrasts. So if you zoom in, obviously 100% is normally the max. If you go 200% in, you can really see the detail loss here. There's hardly anything, you can see the grain and noise within the details. If I go in 300, you can really see it there, the noise and grain, where it's starting to split it all up. Basically all that does is smooth it and bring it all in. Anyway, after doing all those adjustments, go back to fit in view,
She told me to come down.
a couple of seconds, and that is what your final image looks like. Looking quite nice, all the colours there, there's nice detail, it doesn't look over processed, hasn't got a Walt Disney theme to it, it looks tidy. Anyway, what we do now is come to open image. Photoshop will analyse it and open it, and it will look a little bit hazy and a bit grainy when it loads up because my copy needs serious updates. But you'll see what the final image will look like. Bearing in mind, if you was to get these images printed, the more you take off, i.e. crop, the less chance you've got of getting quality into your print. So always try and keep your crop minimal, depending on what you want to print. that's the final image. I will get this saved now, and I will include a link to the final image so you can see it on whatever platform. I think it'd be Flickr or it could be Instagram, but I'll include the final image on there anyway. Anyway, that is basically how I would do a raw file process without HDR with it. That's what I like to call purity, and basically correcting what the camera mistakes have made. If you like this tutorial, please check back for more. If you hate them, or want to perhaps offer some guidance or critique it in any way, that's fine. Perhaps you know something that I can do to improve it. Feel free to leave the comments below. Cheers guys.